All right. Phew. Whatever the fuck that was, it floored me. And I'm curious if it floored anyone else or whether I'm just absolutely losing my fucking mind out here. Nah. There's a lot that I want to cover in this live stream. There's a lot of personal stuff I want to share as well. And not everybody is going to understand it. So whilst I wait for some people to arrive, I'm just going to share this because I want to say what I have to say is really important. But every time I go live and every time I post, everything I say is important. That's right. All right. So let me know when you're here. Let me know how you're feeling, because this last couple of days, I want to say this last week, has really, really rocked me. And I know there's a lot of like big physical changes going on in my personal life, like in my life. And I know that it's grounding down something like massive right now. I know that that's my own personal stuff that's really like huge and sending me into this huge, like, it's clearing out so much stuff, let's just say that. But then I also know other people that are also going through a lot, and I'm just curious where you guys are at, because these energies have been massive for myself and a lot of people I know, but I'm just curious how you guys are. And I'm just gonna share this while I wait for your comments and making sure I share this in the correct place, because I think that I didn't. Share to a group, that's the one. And this won't be a long live stream because I've got to go to an appointment. So I'm gonna like compound everything in. Oh yes, okay, cool. I'm not alone. Let me just share this one more time and then I will look at the comments with presence. Because, whew, yeah, whirlwind's probably about right. Yeah, definitely. Okay, yeah, share to feed. Okay. So now I'll just switch it back. I think I look like I've got a bit of a glow. I thought that I wiped my camera. Maybe it's just, I don't know what that is. Anyway, whatevers. I go on live, I got stuff going on. Where I've got appointments to attend. Okay. Daniel's angry a lot. I've had a lot of anger come up as well. So I really want to talk about this. Let me just check these comments here. So hi everybody, hello. Terry says feeling a lot better after the whirlwind the past 2 weeks. Yep. Amy says bouts of extreme good luck than extreme bad luck. Yeah, let me talk about this because there's lots of like good and bad going on at the moment. One could say high frequency and low frequency. One could say bad luck, good, bad, right, wrong, you know, up, down. It's very like this, so to speak. Daniel's angry a lot. Jess says better than yesterday. It's been hectic with my emotions. Yes, Kathleen says, oh my God, my emotions are a bit like a roller coaster. Yeah. Joy says been very cranky. Okay, awesome. Not awesome that we've been cranky, but I feel like cranky and clumsy. Yes, definitely, Ricky. So a lot going on. So, and thanks for sharing this, guys, because, you know, like, there used to be a time where I used to just be like, this is what's going on. And then, like, I got shut down a fair bit over the past few years, well, in the start, building my business online. And I don't like to think that it did, but it actually did knock me quite a bit. And just really, you know, like I'm starting to come back into myself where I'm trusting how I used to be and just sharing the messages. But it's still been a bit for me to just come out and share that. And I've been questioning that. And something that I've been angry and grieving a lot of is, and this is like contradictory to what I'm saying, right? So, you know, that I'm stuck out here. And I understand I'm not stuck, but that's the feeling that I'm working with, yeah? That if we look at when we're highly sensitive, empathic beings, that is so tuned into higher frequencies, that is so tuned into the collective, that is so freaking sensitive, when we are processing something, we're also clearing a collective what we call threads. Yeah, they're like threads. So if we've got the collective ethers up here, and then coming down off is like all these threads, and they're like threads of emotional consciousness that are shifting through the ethers right now. And as we lead over the next few years, like I feel like it's going to be pretty dark, right? Unfortunately, sorry guys. But I'll be real about it, because we're in like the what's the word? Like we're in the hardest part, we're in the last part, we're in the, just before the dawn is the darkest. Just before a mother gives birth, it's the hardest and she wants to give up. Just before we're about to have a breakthrough to the other side, it's the freaking hardest point and we want to give up. On a collective and on a world scale, we're moving into that over the next few years. And that's why it's going to be like, and it's like we can find joy, we can work with all those things, and we must, and it's important. And so, you know, talking about this, like, what is it? The good, bad, what did you say? Good luck and bad luck, the high frequency, the low frequency. Like, we have to remember, and what's so important, and what I was really like telling her and reminding myself to over this last week, is that, like, for me personally, I've had some of the most powerful, hugest shifts, transformations, like biggest months financially in reality awareness, like, or my second biggest month, like in the business. And it's like, you know, when I look at the amazing good things that are going on, it's like equal to the dark and the stress and the full on and the Now, one could say, well, that's not really success. And it's like, well, define success. What is your, you know, version of success, right? But the point that I'm sharing that for is it's normal. It's normal to feel good luck and bad luck at the same time. It's normal to feel high frequency and low frequency at the same time. It's normal to feel joy and the depths of sadness at the same time. So for example, I know here, like, okay, I'm just going to pull some things out here, right? So for example, for me, and I'll share about me, because then you can relate it to you guys. And I'm reminding myself I don't have much time to talk on this live stream. So, because as you know, I talk for hours on live streams, right? So I'll keep it short and I'll share, and then you can relate it to you guys as well. So for example, right, we just got a new puppy in the last week, right? Like, and it's something that my daughter wanted for quite some time, and she kept, you know, at me, and we got it. And I was like, I have to work. You have to take responsibility for it. I don't have time for a puppy right now with the rest of our menagerie, blah, blah, blah. She's like, yes, yes, yes. Now, whilst like I knew that I'm responsible for it, I forgot. And I do think we always forget what it's like to have a puppy or a kitten or a young child, or it's constant and it's full on. And I'm just like, whoa, like adjusting to that. So there's been this beautiful fluff ball of like amazing little fluff ball goodness of just like happy and joy and friggin' life back in our house in a way, right? And it's bringing a whole new energy to the house, but it's full on puppy training. You get the picture, right? Late nights, early mornings, the whole thing. And I'm just like, oh, so there's like this beautiful loving energy that's landed, and then it's like at the same time it's huge because it's a new energy in the place, and we're all adjusting to it. And for like the first time in like, I don't know, I think it must be about 7 years, we're finally getting our furniture for our house, our, you know, couches and, you know, new, you know, appliances, you know, like all the things that I've been dreaming of in having my own place for years and years and years is starting to land, like physically arrive in our reality. And it's bringing up so much stuff for me. So at the end of this year, it will be 20 years that I have been on the east coast of Australia. When I was 18, I got in a car and I drove across Australia and I left. Now, it's coming up to 20 years in December, and it's so important to understand the timelines, and I'm writing a book about this in depth around, like, so 10-year mark is a make or break, 20-year mark is a make or break. Whether you apply that to a relationship, to a career, to you've been living somewhere for 20 years, you know, like, or 10 years, like, these are make or break points, meaning all your shit will come up. Yep, all your shit will come up. There's ones at 2 years, 3 years, 7 years, 6, 7 years, 9 years, 10 years, 20 years. Okay, so there's like different timelines, and they all have different sort of vibrations and what it brings up and stuff like that. And like I said, I'll go in depth in the booklet, but in my book. But it's so important to just sort of check in when you're going through something. Okay, where's these timelines things? It's like, okay, cool, we've had the puppy for 3 days. We both had a breakdown. You know, it's like that 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years thing, right? And I'm like, okay, 3 days and we just lost it, right? We're just like, what did we do? But we love you, but what? But like, it's just and what it is, it's a change in reality. It's a change in reality and a busting through to a new reality of now having a puppy, right? It's 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. So it's so important to look at the timelines when you're going through something, okay? I'm just going to quickly scan these comments because I don't want to miss them. So Cheryl says very emotional. Brenda says couldn't stop crying last week. Yeah, Alina says, yes, I'm angry a lot too and sad and worthless. Yeah, so there's I wrote the blog on Saturday, Australian time, and I posted it, so maybe Friday if you're on the other side of the world, and it was called You Are Not Wanted or something, and that's a collective thread that's clearing out at the moment. And it's really interesting because the puppy that we got was the last one of her litter, so you are not wanted, puppy, because you're the last of your litter. Yeah, and then it's like bringing up all my stuff of not being wanted and being like away from my family for 20 years. Like, that's a huge amount of time that I've lived without family around, interstate, barely see them, etc., etc. You know, so that worthless and you're not wanted thread is clearing out of the collective at the moment. And what's also really important is to understand, right? To understand when we're clearing out, you're not wanted, you're worthless, you're blah, 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 okay? Bad. Low vibration, low frequency, okay? What's on the other scale of that? Yeah, what's on the other scale of you're not wanted? Oh, you are wanted. Oh, you are worthy. Oh, you are beautiful. You are in the right place. You are doing the right thing, okay? It is so important, guys, if you want to like heal, increase your intuition, move through things faster, understand that you're not fucking crazy and you're not losing it even though you feel like it. It's so important to check into timelines and to understand that when you're feeling something, worthless, not wanted, what am I doing here? Did I make a mistake? Blah, 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 blah. Whatever's coming up for you, remember what's on the other end of the scale. Ask yourself that question. What's on the other end of the scale of not being wanted, or I'm worthless, or what did I do, right? Well, I did do the right thing. I am worthy. I'm wanted, etc. Yeah? And then also look at what goes on, like what's going on in your physical reality at the same time. Yeah? So what's going on in your physical reality at the same time? So for example, for me, for me, like I said, it's 20 years, coming up 20 years that I've lived on the other side of Australia, away from my family. I don't do family gatherings. I don't do birthdays. I don't do all of that because I don't have family around, right? I've been a single mum, you know, raising my daughter for the past 14 years by myself, right? All by choice. This is not a victim story. This is like reality, okay? And this is like a reality that I'm learning to, I want to say, go easy on myself, you know, like getting all this furniture for the first time, like a furniture that we want, that I love, that I'm making my house beautiful, right? And over the weekend, I spent time making it more beautiful, and I'll put things on my story after this live stream. I will put them on today, so keep an eye on my stories and you'll see the beautiful spaces that I'm starting to create around this home. And what is it doing? It's making it a home, and it's making it beautiful. Yeah, I'm creating beauty in my life for what I see, where I live, where I'm experiencing, what I'm experiencing on a day-to-day basis. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to keep reading these comments quickly, and I'm going to make sure that I'm covering everything I want to talk about, because I do need to jump off this live stream and get to an appointment in a moment. So, okay. So just check these questions. These comments. So couldn't stop crying. And so these are the energies that I'm talking about, these emotions and energies and everything else, going on. And by the way, when we check in, like what's on the other end of the scale of like the bad and the good, right? Bad luck, good luck. We'll be experiencing that, and we'll be like, these amazing things are happening. And then it's just like, oh my God, this is so like full on over here. And what's going on, and heartbreak or whatever's happening, right? And it's so important to, like I said, ask yourself and check the scale of like, okay, you're not wanted, you're worthless, whatever that's coming up, okay? And then it's like, and then you check, you're like, okay, what's on the other end of the scale? Okay, I am worthy, I am wanted, blah, blah, whatever the thing is, right? And so when you're checking the other end of the scale, it doesn't mean that you immediately feel better, okay? I just wanted to really note that, okay? It doesn't mean that you immediately feel like amazing and everything's fine again, okay? But it does start to shift you. Because as we know, we live in a 3D polarity world. Like that is the nature of our reality, as much as some people don't like it or try to transcend that or whatever it is. It's like, this is the reality. And when we understand these energetics, then we start to alchemize it, and then we become the transformative walking alchemists through our emotional and conscious understanding and our emotional intelligence about understanding what it is we're feeling and how to transmute it as we go. Okay? We can be here and feeling the worthlessness, and we can have knowledge and also start moving and feeling worthy at exactly the same time. We can be going through the worst time of our lives and know that it's propelling us towards our future. We can know that we're going through the darkest point of our life and know that there's so much light here at exactly the same time. There's something else that I want to share that's coming through this second. So I've been speaking about it with a client, specifically a client in this last 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks, right? And I've been really coming into it, and it's been part of my grief as well, that I have, I feel stuck out here. Like it's 20 to 40 minutes to be able to get somewhere, to go to a gym or go for a walk or do something. Like I'm on all this property and I can't walk in the paddocks with the cows, and the cow shit and the bugs, and it's a lot. Yeah, can't really go out on the main road because it's an 80-kilometer zone, and it's just, anyway. So I've been feeling really stuck because I need to walk. My mental sanity, I feel better. Like everybody knows exercise fixes everything, right? And I'm just like trapped. Yeah. Anyway, so I come to the solution in the last week. I'm like, a treadmill. Oh my God, I can walk any time of day or night. I can run, right? Anyway, so solutions come in. But anyway, the point is, okay, something that I've been grieving is because knowing all of this, and I'm like, oh my God, at my old place, I used to get up and go for a walk on the beach for an hour and then come home and be able to work all day. And it was like a 2-minute drive, where now it's a 45-minute drive one way, right? Time is really important to me when I'm building a business, being a mom and raising a whole like household, like doing all the things, right? Time is really important in where I delegate my time and energy with my clients, business, daughter, cleaning, whatever it is, yeah? Tending to the animals. So I've been grieving that. I'm like, I could just go to the gym. It was like 5 minutes down the road, or I could just go to the beach, or I could do all these things in like no time at all. And how much I like took it for granted, and how much I don't have that now. And like, what did I do? I did the wrong thing, blah, 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 blah. Like the grief has been there. Okay, number one, I'm releasing my old life. It's so important to remember when we're reminiscing about something, we're releasing our old life, and I'm adjusting and landing into this reality that I am here now. It takes time to fully land in a new reality. A good 18 months, if not more. 18 months, 3 years are big like timeline points when you're landing and you have changed your life and landing into a new frequency, yeah, new reality. So okay, what was the point of me sharing that? Okay, the thing that I've been speaking about with my client, yeah, is how much at the same time to be happy and grateful for where we are now. So I'm grieving missing the beach. I'm grieving blah, 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 all the stuff about my old life. But this time, for the first time in my life, I'm aware of that. I'm allowing that because I'm releasing it through my grief. It's a letting go process. And I'm also allowing myself to enjoy what I have right now. being able to see green out every window, hearing the birds, the wind, even with the ticks and the bugs and the snakes and the fucking mud and just like the mold and the dampness when it rains for weeks and months on end. Like that aside, I'm also learning to be grateful to be here, away from society for a while, seeing the amazing stars when they're out there, and when sometimes they are so clear it's ridiculous. I'm like, how's there that many stars? There's not usually that many stars, even out here in the dark. I love seeing the stars. I love my saltwater pool and looking out onto the vast hills. Like, I'm very grateful to be here, and it's like I'm catching myself more in the gratitude, or choosing, so important, choosing to be in that more than I'm in the bad of it. Now, I just want to point out that took me 18 months of being here to actually energetically and physically arrive to actually feel that. Not just like, oh, I should be grateful for it. It's like I'm actually really being present with it. Now, being present with something only comes when we have grieved and got rid of all this stuff. Nobody can be present with something when they're full of feelings that need to come out of their heart. Okay. So the thing that I've been talking about with my client is that we're always like we always have goals. We'll always be moving forward. We're always something better. Like, I'm out here and I'm dreaming of my concrete architecturally designed beach house. So I'm not really here, but I'm catching myself and allowing myself to really be here in the wide open spaces where I can, when I can, walk the paddocks, walk with my cats, and the cats come for a big walk with me. Like, you know, I love that. And at times I can't do that. I'm like, yeah. But it's like I'm really allowing myself to be here, because at my old place, I think part of the grief was that I didn't allow myself to love it enough. Even though I did love it, it wasn't that. And we're always trying to get ahead, or we're always trying to be somewhere. Can we just allow ourselves to be here? Now, I've actually seen quite a few people post about this as well in the past week. And I'm like, this is a bit of a collective thread. And do you know what came through for me when I saw that? I was like, yeah, do you know what I feel? What are we now? So we're 2022. We're halfway through 2022. That's 2.5 years of this stupid world stuff, okay? I want to say stupid. Sometimes it's annoying, right? Especially in the first bit, right? But it's not stupid in a way, because it's forcing people to wake up, in my opinion, yeah? And the hardest thing when we're waking up, whether spiritually or out of an abusive relationship, and to be honest, that's what humanity's in, okay? It takes time to move through that, and that's why we've got the 10-year thing. That's why it's 7 years, not till 2027. The world is not ready for this level of consciousness, right? Because the world is currently waking up from being in a relationship with a narcissistic, abusive lover, partner, parent, whatever. That's what the world is going through right now. People will wake up and they don't know. They're like, oh, okay, but they continue in it because they don't know how to get out of it. And then it reaches a tipping point where they will wake up and be angry, and that's coming up in the next couple of years, right? And then it's going to wake up and we're going to shift. So we're 2.5 years into that. What did I say? At 3 years, there's a make or break point. So 3, 6, 9, 10 years, make or break points, yeah? So when we look at that on a collective scale as well, I also feel that on a bigger picture, there's an energy shift, and it's like we've been going on this timeline or whatever it is for a period of time, and we're sort of slowing down, and it's sort of coming to a point where it's shifting in another direction, and it's sort of like at this turning point now where people are like, ooh, don't need to focus on the future, we're moving to more of a present state, and we're heading in this direction, but it's not like we'll go again, it's just like we're learning to be present with what is now. Yeah, and I feel there's a lot of people sort of almost slowing down, if you may, but it's not a slowing down, it's an energy shift, it's a frequency shift into a present state. And what's the presence? I want you guys to answer this. What is presence? Yeah, I'm going to check these comments, and I'm going to wait for your comments to come in about this too. What is presence? What is coming into what is presence? When we're go, 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 and then when we're here, what is presence actually? If we can be present with our reality, if we can be present with all our emotions, if we can be present with other people's emotions, if we can be present with what's going on, where are we? If we're present, if we're super grounded and present, where are we? I'll wait for your comments to come in. I'm just going to check these ones here. Alina, so I see your your comments before. Been questioning yourself, you feel stuck. Student apartment, I don't want to be here, nothing's working. Like, so I hope that what I was explaining about being on the other end of the scale can really help you there. Stephanie says a lot of tears and then feeling unloved and unwanted. Yeah, it's very much a theme, yeah, a collective thread that is shifting at the moment. So, yeah. And I just want to say too, like if we look at that on a collective scale of what I just spoke about, it's very, very on point to like the collective waking up to like, oh, I thought you cared about me. You know, if we're looking at releasing from an abusive relationship, it's like one of the wake ups to that is like, oh, I thought you cared about me, but you don't actually. Just trying to control me. Like that's a wake up out of a narcissistic relationship. That's a stage of it. Yeah. Alina says you're crazy. Your dog was the last one in a litter too. That's amazing. Look at what that's healing on such a deep level, right? I've been so conscious of that. Yeah, I got her for a discounted price too. Yeah. Brenda says, I need to message you. Hit the spot every time. Yes. Amy says, so important to live in a beautiful space. If your house is messy, rest of your life is. Well, it's funny because it's not messy. It's just that I haven't had furniture. I've not had furniture. So there's been a lot of space. It's been empty. Like we've got a 5-bedroom house. It's a big house here. And all we've had, and honestly all we've had for many years, like is our kitchen dining table. So our kitchen table is just a smallish one, just a 4-seater. My office space didn't even have the couch. This was brand new a couple of months ago. So I only had my desk and my chair and my filming stuff, obviously, and my computer and my bed. And then my daughter had her room and she's set up in her room as well. And that's all we've had for many years because I've put everything into creating my business, and everything that I earned went straight back into my business for years and years and years and years and years. And about 2 years ago, I realized I'd reach a point where I can start paying myself and start, oh, look, we can actually start buying things for ourselves now. And then it's got to this point where it's at a point where we can just buy furniture. And I'm like, yes. But that's, yeah, so it hasn't been a mess. It's been empty because I'm not good with mess. I'm not good with mess. I'm good with creative chaos mess when I'm in a creative flow and there's post-it notes and books and stuff all over my desk because I'm creating. That I'm fine with until I need to clean that up for another round. But yeah, house is not mess in a way. Yeah. Daniel says perspective. Yeah, it is perspective. Yeah, good, bad. The scale, it's so important to understand this scale. Yeah. Mel says there's only one of you in the world. That's what makes you you, and that's unique. Yes, that's the big message that's been coming through, because on the scale of not being wanted is, and on the other scale, like I said, of being wanted, right? We're looking at that scale, the good, the bad, that it's all on the same scale. We're just like looking at the opposites here in the polarity 3D world that we live in. It's like, it is that. You know, it's like I'm wanted, but what's deeper than that? It's like, take that deeper. What does that actually mean? What does that mean? Yeah, you're unique, you're different, you're beautiful, you're all the things that everybody's not. That's why flowers are beautiful in their own right, but they're all the same, but they're not, you know? It's that, yeah. Joy says, I'm going to suggest a treadmill. I know, right? I'm like, why didn't I think of that before? But, you know, I was thinking about it because when I went to a local gym like a while ago and I just got over the driving, you know, to and from, it was like I learned to go on a treadmill there. Like I've always been so resistant to treadmills. Like at my old gym, at my old place, I'd never go because I'd run to the beach. Like, why would you be on a treadmill when I can run to the fucking beach? And so I never really knew how to use them, and then I was scared to, and so I got past that fear, and so now I'm like, oh, is that so I can have a treadmill now and I can fucking run and visualize them on the beach? Whatever. Anyway. Alina says, at least your place, you got space for a desk. Yeah, everything you need should be at home. And that's what I've been working on, right? And this is what's been really grounding, and that's what's really been changing me and bringing up so much stuff, because I've been in mum mode, making sure that she is okay, making sure that everything is perfect for her, of course, you know, as much as we can without a couch, so to speak. But it's like making sure that all the needs are met, like being there, doing all the things, letting her have what she wants, blah, 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 blah. And then it's like building my business so that we can have the freedom without being stuck on a single mum pension for the rest of our life. That was not an option, right? And that's why I've done what I've done for the past 7 years, yeah? It'll be 6 years coming up online. 2005 since I've been in this industry, but it'll be 6 years in August that I've been online. So yes, and so you hit the nail on the head there, Daniel. Everything you need should be at home. Like we've got a walk-in pantry, like this house is beautiful and big, right? Saltwater pool, vast views, like it's a dream, right? Ultimately. And that's what I've been really realizing. And that all the time in my old house, I was visualizing a place like this. Like the beautiful views, the feeling, like the whole thing. And I'm like, and that's what is I'm like, I asked for this. Like, you know, where we are right now, we asked for this. We did. A past version of ourselves asked for something that's in the now. We did. And while we're asking for something else in the future, we asked for this now. And that's why I'm like, I can see the sunset and the sunrise, and it's right on the horizon, and I can see it. Every window has amazing views. If you watch my stories, you see them frequently. When I see them, I put them on there. They're beautiful, fucking beautiful. I'm like, I asked for this. I asked to be able to be out here with no noise around so I can record all my audio meditations and finish my stage 2 of reality awareness. Like, I asked for this, you know? And then like realizing I'm at a point where we can buy furniture, and in my head I'd still been wanting a beautiful, nice house, because it was something that had to shift in me, or something. It's hard to describe, because like we've got a walk-in pantry, and it was buying all this food. Like out here you have to buy in bulk because there's no shop close. You have to do big shops at a time. Like it's something I've learned to adjust to, and I was like, this is so different, but I'm used to it now. But I was buying all this stuff, and I was like, we've got no freaking containers to put it in. I'm like, what's the point? So I went and like bought all these containers. So now our pantry, it's almost complete, and I'll put it on my story. It's like a pantry to be envied for. I'm just saying. No, I'm like, wow, this is a dream come true, and I forgot this was a dream. And this is what's making my house a home, and it's making it the home that I wanted, but I didn't realize I can do it now. It's kind of interesting, right? When we're like working towards something, and then it's like the physical, actually like tangible of like, oh, I can make it what it is now. Oh, got it. And I even saw things like, you know, early on when I was here, as I don't know, someone put on their little reel or whatever, like, you know, how much we don't make our current house our home because we're waiting to move house, or we're waiting to do this, or waiting for our own home, like if you're renting or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, that's so true. I'm like, let me sort this out. So I've got like a pantry that's got all the like proper like containers, you know how it's all organized, proper pantry thing. Like just got to get the little labels, and I'll do a story for you. Like it's pretty fucking amazing. So walk in, and that's beautiful. And I'm like, wow, check it out, you know? And then I just created another amazing, beautiful space last night. I'll show you. So anyway, what I'm saying, Daniel, when you said everything you need should be at home, and that's how I've always dreamed my house to be. I'm a very practical person. Everything has to be practical and work practically, right? It has to be beautiful and practical at the same time, and it is. But it's like that is making me feel full and complete. Now I've got to jump off. I've got an appointment to get to about my finger. But I feel like there might be a part 2 of this, because something that I'd like to talk about is the realizations I've had around my food addiction, the relation to my family system, the 20-year make or break mark that I've got going on right now. And then also the food, how it's nourishing the empty house to the full house. What's that doing? How come I haven't been able to detox yet? What's going on? Like, you know, all of that. And at the same time, I'm stabilizing my life more than I've ever done before. And it's a dream come true. And it's bringing up so much stuff, because for my whole life, I've never had stability. But I've been craving and creating that. And it's changing everything and bringing everything up at the same time. It's fucking huge. It's huge. Okay, so I'm just going to finish this bit. So Joy says, I wish I had all that space and privacy, noisy neighbors everywhere. Yeah, I do have a neighbor close, but she's awesome. Your property is gorgeous. I know, I'm very, very grateful for it. Brian says, thankful every day. Awesome. Good to hear. Ashley says, I just saw a rainbow and the sun out. Oh, it's like heaven these days, right? Rainbows for me are always Archangel as Raziel and the alchemy transformation. Crazy energy for me. People tested my patience. Yeah, it's been big. Yeah, being present is being in your own body. Yeah, let me answer this. Yeah, Abby says coming into the now moment. Brenda says she feels it. Tammy says the stillness of now. Yes. Joy says being still, being at peace, being in the now, grateful where we are today. Yes. Cheryl says when you feel unconditional love no matter what's happening. Yes, definitely. Karen says feel better today. Last few weird weeks. Yes. Daniel says living in the moment and understanding what's happening socially. Yes. When we're present, we've got that bigger picture view, right? We hold more space. Destiny says being in your power. Yes. Okay. Let me just check here. Okay. Okay, so, oh, it's so funny. What the heck is on your face? It's so funny when people jump on and they just say that. So amazing. I love you too. Isn't that nice? Would you say that to me in the street? Would you walk up to me and say, what the fuck is that on your face? No, because I'd probably fucking go, really? Like, it's so funny, right? People don't have the fucking balls to say that to my face in the street, but they're like, type it away because I'm like a scared little keyboard warrior that will say fucking whatever. I'm sorry, but this bullshit, right? I'm sorry, I'm ranting. I gotta go. But the point is, right, we can hold space for all the derelict fucking bullshit and the keyboard warriors as well. Because when we're present in the right now, everything that you guys said is 100% on point. What we also are is we're in the heart. We've shifted out of here and being keyboard warriors and fucking judging other people and pulling them down because we're unhappy in our own life because we haven't healed the grief in our own fucking heart. Actually, look at society. Anyone who judges, projects, says nasty things, whatever you want, war, yeah, revenge, all of that is because they're full of feelings and grief and they don't have the courage to fucking face it. When we are present, we've shifted through a ton of shit. We have grieved, howled, cried, and we're coming into the gratitude of now. We are present and we are here. And at here, in our heart, we hold space for all of it and some. We've got strong boundaries. We understand the truth because our soul's coming down and this is the truth of our soul. Humanity is shifting into the heart. There is more of us waking up and healing the grief because waking up is not easy. It's messy as fuck and not many people have the courage to do that. They'll sit there and judge other people, pull them down, rip them to shreds because they're unhappy in their own life. That's it. I have to go. I will do a part 2 of this live stream and I will talk about that stuff because it's really important. I also downloaded my new 6-month program yesterday. It's called Platinum. It's working with me one-on-one and in our group mastermind. Platinum. This is for the entrepreneurs, whether you're a woman or a man. This is the entrepreneurs who know that it's more about all of this stuff and it's here. Who knows that when we're here, it's all of this and some. Who knows that it's wealth, health, love, and all the things. But it's also more than that because it's your deeper purpose and service work. I do have a page with all the details, but you're going to have to send me a message for it. It's not open to the public. Send me a message and I can send you the link for that so you can have a look over. It's called Platinum, so you can comment Platinum on this live stream and I'll get my team or myself to send it to you, or send me a message with Platinum and I'll send you the link and you can check over it. I gotta go. Need to sort this baby out and I'll do part 2 soon. I love you guys heaps. Thanks for being here and being here. And stay here because I know you can, and I know that you feel the depth and the darkness, and I'm so fucking proud of you because we hold it all here. Here is where the separation is. Here is where we embrace all of the scale, all of the spectrum, the light and the dark. I love you. Bye.